this topic is a very important topic to me, and it's a very need to be talked about topic because, it's a bit ridiculous of how people be acting when it comes to it. Let's talk about it because there's not really that many people to talk about it, not to mention, I wanted to see if the Loli community is really bad as a lot of people say, and I thought, for the most part, they might be true. I thought the Loli community was going to be bad, and I really thought they was going to be a bunch of weird ass creepy people that's in it. To be perfectly honest, I didn't really want to be doing this, but I'll do it anyway just because, I'm bored. I have nothing else better to do. Not to mention, I really don't mind doing this because I would like to see for myself if it's really as bad as a lot of people say it is. And, well, as you can see through the timeline of videos I made covering this topic, it's not really that bad as you think it is. And so, I want to make this video a final verdict, basically, for what my thoughts are on the Loli community and Lolicons and Loli in general when it comes to a fictional anime sense. Obviously, there will be donation links in the description that you can help prevent from child abuse in real life. And, if you have any more links that you can put in the comments, that would be great to help with charities that can help kids, stay safe. So, with that being said, let's really talk about it. Now, I'm not going to cover everything about Lolis because there's plenty of videos that we did do that covers everything about Lolis, but just to give you a brief rundown, essentially, a Loli is a female character that is looking underage with underdeveloped features. Now, while the character can be underage, it doesn't necessarily have to be. They can literally be 10, they can literally be 1, they can literally be 1,000, they could be 10 million years old. Does not matter. A Loli can be any damn age as you want it to be. Old as the universe, still a Loli. The body types can be any type. It could be anything when it comes to a Loli character. Whether they're going to be short and have no chest and no ass at all, or they could have all the boobs in the world, which we call this an Opie Loli. Or they could literally be an adult that is somehow a Loli character. Even if there was an old ass grandma, they could still be a Loli character. Does not matter what a Loli can be. So yeah, there is no definitive age of what a Loli is, no definitive number, except saying the word underage and under 18, but that's not really a definitive number considering the fact that there is no set actual number. Like, even the anime industry doesn't even have a set actual number of what a Loli is because, again, a Loli could be anything. And a Loli has really nothing to do with their age anyway. They more so have to do with just their underdeveloped features that looks like a kid, but not really. Because again, let's use Tatsumaki as an example. She looks like one, but she's not really a kid. But, she has underdeveloped features. For a 28-year-old, that's kind of like, in anime standards, not really that much of a crazy thing, that's kind of just the usual. Now, if you were to say, but Jay, Lolis are illegal, you can't loot a Loli. Actually, yes you can. And now obviously different countries have different laws. Some countries will allow that, some countries will not. And from where I stand at the US of A, that can stand. We have it in a legal sort of sense. And the way it goes down is basically, as long as it's, obviously fictional, it'll be fine. If it looks like an actual person indistinguishably, then obviously you might get in a little bit of trouble. Even if it's just a 3D character model, you could still get into some potential trouble because it kind of looks really close to someone in real life. So obviously that's an issue. But if it comes down to like a fictional 2D character, obviously it won't really cause that much of a problem. It's not going to cause any problem at all, and it really shouldn't, considering the fact it's fictional. Doesn't really matter. And a lot of people might be like, well, morally it's wrong. Yes, morally it is wrong. However, if that's the case and you want to ban it off of that type of sense, we need to look at everything morally, like murder in video games. Hey, morally, you shouldn't be enjoying that, but we do it anyway. Yeah, that's not banned. Or morally, murder in movies. Even if the hero wins, he shouldn't have killed the bad guy. I don't care how much you hate that idea that that's the case. Morally, it's wrong. So you can't just go out of your way to say that certain things morally is okay and certain things aren't okay morally, because really, a lot of stuff in this earth is immoral. It should not be a thing. Yet, human society has just made it normal and just make it part of their everyday life. So when it comes to this, even if you don't like lollies, morally they should still be allowed in some shape or form, as long as it's not hurting anyone or it's not, obviously a real person. So when it comes to morals, I can't even see that argument anymore, because morally a lot of things are wrong, but at the same time people will pass a lot of things even if it is immoral. So I don't really understand that argument either. A lot of the time when I was looking through the lolly community, I also wanted to know why people like lollies, which we did also discover, by the way. But mainly, to give you a brief rundown, a lot of people like lollies because sometimes they went through bad stuff themselves and they just want to cope with it, or some people actually go out their way to become lolly VTubers just because they like how cute they are, or just like lollies in general because of how cute they are without even being a VTuber. Or they can just, like lollies but not like real kids, which is an actual thing, and that's just how it is. So there's many reasons why people, end up becoming lolly VTubers or just like being Lolicons in general, because certain things have probably happened to their past where there was use and abuse and it sucks. And then you also have plenty of people that just think lollies are cute in a nice, wholesome sort of way. And plenty of different reasons, there's plenty of different reasons to talk about it when it comes to why people get into it. So, nothing really crazy when it comes to that. A good thing about the lolly community too, by the way, is that they actually do not stand pets, which is absolutely great, because a lot of the times that I do see them do stuff when it comes to it, they end up reporting those type of people or making sure that other people is aware that they exist and tell them to report them too, which is absolutely great. Get rid of the pets out of the community, because there is some in the community, unfortunately, just like every community online, because that's just how it is, unfortunately. At least they're trying to do something about it, while aunties will just make up any excuse to either not donate to a cause or either just ignore the problem entirely, which is absolutely ridiculous when it comes to their part. Which is also why I should also say that you should not, and for whatever reason, and I do not understand why people do this, do not at the FBI when it comes to certain things, when it comes to anime lolly characters, because they're fictional. They know that they're fictional. Why are you bothering and wasting their money and time? Same thing with volunteer groups. You should not be trying to bother them when it comes to a fictional character, because they out here trying to save real kids, and yet wasting their resources and time when they could be trying to save a real kid from actually being hurt because of someone wanting to talk about, oh, because Kana shouldn't be spreading her vagina all out on the screen like this for whatever reason. You wasted their time when some kid probably just had, got McDonald's wrap paid, and it's not great. So definitely do not waste FBI time. Do not waste any volunteer groups time when it comes to this, because kids' lives are at stake when it comes to this stuff, and their innocence is at stake. And obviously adults shouldn't be doing this regardless, but they do it anyway, and it's so damn sad, and it's not right at all. So don't waste people's time when it comes to them trying to legit help out kids and help them out escaping these type of situations because of you wanting to be stupid when it comes to a fictional character. Just don't waste people's time. It's that simple. Another thing too, when it comes to lolly, is that I don't understand what the massive uproar is about it. Because think about it, if the US says it's legal in like a normal, in a regular sense, if the US says like this 2D character on my screen is legal to show off and to be, having an existence naked and everything. Let's just use Klee as an example, because everybody like Klee from Genshin. But if Klee is just naked on the screen for whatever reason, and that's legal, and that's absolutely fine, and you can do whatever you want with that, then why does so many different platforms give this so much trouble? I don't understand that. That's the one weird thing. Like, Patreon gives it trouble, Twitter gives it trouble sometimes. It's really annoying, and I don't really get why this is even like a thing of concern. Again, I get it. Now, I will say that people can be influence to do certain things, but you gotta be strong in your mind to make sure that that don't happen. Obviously, do not consume the content if you cannot mentally handle it. That's a major thing, a part of growing up when you know, watch mature content. If you can't handle certain things in certain fictional type of sense and things that happen, obviously do not watch it. Do not be a part of it. Do not associate with it. If you cannot handle a sexy looking lolly on screen, do not, because you might try to do something for real, do not watch it or interact with it. It's that simple. But you still get people to do it anyway, which is absolutely ridiculous. But again, if there is nothing legally wrong with having this, then this really shouldn't be an issue when it comes to a lot of platforms. Yet it still is an issue for whatever reason. And if it really was a problem with legal stuff when it comes to this, everybody would be gone to jail by now. Everybody, every single person. If that was the case, if this was a legal nightmare, everybody would have gone to jail. Everybody. But that's not really the case, is it? Because it's not anything real and nothing that you have to really worry about because it's fictional. And people know this. And one last thing I want to cover is, again, lolly VTubers. A lot of lolly VTubers do not get the props that they deserve. You give Jarger her props, you give La Plus Darkness her props, but you do not give everybody else their props, especially on the indie side of VTubing, because you got plenty of good lolly VTubers on the indie side of things, but they still get treated like absolute dirt, and it sucks, and it's not really great. And I don't understand why that is the case. And then people go, and then other VTubers go out their way to try to call their fans peds, and it's just not great. It doesn't really do anything. And then even though that's really not even the case, and you know it's not the case, yet you still say that anyway, which is even the more ridiculous when it comes down to it. So I don't understand why indie people hate lolly VTubers so much. It's really stupid. It's really stupid. Like, let people do what they want. Even if it's an NSFW lolly VTuber, let them do what they want. Legally, they can. So when it comes down to lolly entirely, when it comes down to it, all of it, there is nothing truthfully wrong with it. It's just a lot of people make an uproar out of it for no damn reason, and a lot of companies and a lot of people just do not want it on their platforms just because they don't want it. And it's very annoying at times because, again, nothing is legally wrong with it, especially if you're from a country that literally has it in their law that nothing is legally wrong. So I don't, again, understand the main issue when it comes to it, because it's, you know, morally wrong, yes, but a lot of things are morally wrong. And so I don't really understand why this is such a big uproared issue. It's just really ridiculous in my personal opinion. And as far as it comes down to it, if you're a Lolicon, you shouldn't be worried about, you know, getting reported or taken down because you're doing something legal. It's technically legal, but, you know, people will trash you just because. And then the people that bullies you and then the people that cyberbully you, while that's something that's a problem, and yet that gets passed by no problem, you get the one that takes all the damage and hit to it, which is really stupid. So entirely, when it comes to it, nothing wrong with Lolicon, nothing wrong with being a Lolicon, nothing wrong with Loli. Obviously there's peds in the online world, but we have to do our part to make sure, you know, that they're gone, that they don't do anything to harm any, you know, kids, and that's like a major thing. So, and that is why in a lot of this lolly stuff that we've been talking about, I would want y'all to donate and help out some real kids into charities. Not even the charities that's in the description, just charities that you can find that will be able to help and stop child abuse. That's like the main thing that I wanted to do when it comes to covering this topic this entire couple of months, because yeah, they shouldn't have to go through that. It's ridiculous. And if any other YouTuber want to cover this type of topic, there's only a handful of good ones, I'll be honest, when it comes to this topic. And there's not really that much of a handful. There's barely anybody that's really willing to cover this without a biased opinion, because a lot of people that does cover it are really pricks about it, and they be satirical, and it does not help at all. So really, I would say definitely, dude, I wouldn't even bother watching anything that's like 5 years old or 4 years old on this topic, because a lot of people are satirical and very stupid when it comes to covering it, because they want to be very biased and have their own opinions, when you can't be biased in this sort of situation. You just have to kind of cover it without, you know, your own personal opinions on it, and that's just kind of how it is. So yeah, if you want to watch more of the videos that I covered on this, talking about it in more detail and higher quality and better quality, honestly, then I highly recommend that you check out the Loli videos in that Loli Exploring the Loli Community playlist that I have. The more people see it, the more common sense might just be able to come out of it. Because again, this entire thing is stupid. Stop wasting people's time when it comes to fictional characters. It's a fictional character, get over it. If you want to bang Amy Rose, you can bang Amy Rose. If you want to bang Klee, you can bang Klee. If you want to just look at Kana's vagina, please do that. It's absolutely fine. But do not try to translate this into real life. Do not try to go out and harm some actual real kids, because at the end of the day, that is the main problem, not this. And I would like to say that anime lolly content is some good stuff. Not even gonna cap. Not even gonna lie. That's why I made a whole top 10 lolly favorite lolly video, because, you know, some don't need to get their cunts ate. But that's pretty much it for the entire of this video, so hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and like to donate to the channel. Patreon and my personal and Ko-Fi is available as well. And until then, it's your boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.